Okay, let's complete assignment 2-1, the practice exercise object. And I'm going to do this in Maya. Feel free to follow along. And what I do have is I have the image that of the reference image that the SNHU course has for us, and they want us to replicate this model. And they said in the assignment, they said, oh, you should use the extrude tool and connect tools. And there's not really a great reason why you would use a connect tool to model this. Additionally, I will also share a little tutorial that I have that will show you more tools and be more helpful than this. But you will need to complete this for the assignment. So I'm going to go through that now. So I'm going to put this on my other monitor here, and just make sure you have this as a reference as you're going through, and you can follow along with me. All right, so I'm going to start off by creating a cube, and by looking at, I'll hit spacebar to go to my orthographic views, and I'll hover over a panel, a camera panel, and hit F in each of them, and then maybe zoom out a little bit on some of these, right? Just to center them in the frame. Okay, so I know that, oh, also my grid settings, if I go to display grid, here are my grid settings, right? I went over this in the last video, but if you want it to look like mine, you can change yours to this. All right, I'm going to select this cube, and I want it on top of the grid. So I'm going to change this translate Y to 0.5 and hit enter, and now you can see it is on top, like exactly on top. If I look at the reference, I also can see that there's a division line that runs around here. If you have a polygon primitive, prior to modeling on it, you can manipulate several things about it from the get-go, including subdivisions. So if I'm in my channel box layer editor, right here underneath inputs says polycube 1, I'm going to click on that. Subdivision height, I'll change this to 2 and hit enter, and you'll see it gives me that division right there, okay? Let's start by taking these front faces here and extruding them. I can extrude by either clicking right here or hitting Control E is the shortcut. All right. Okay. So there are several ways we can do this. We can use these manipulators. We can type in values here, or we can click and drag on the word. So for example, I could click on thickness and drag left and right to increase or decrease the thickness of that extrusion. This little circle here, based on if you keep clicking on it, it will fill up or empty, right? And this is sensitivity. So if I have this up really full, then if I click and drag on this, it's going to be very, very sensitive. If I make it a smaller slice, then it's much less sensitive. So I'm going to make it a smaller slice, okay? I'm going to change this value. Let's try 0.5. And then I'm going to click on the word offset and offset it into the negative, and you can see that it's going to scale it in the fashion that the reference image is, right? So let's try negative 0.5, and notice that when I hover over it, when I move to a different panel, this little menu continues popping up. If you lose this menu and you need to, like if you messed up and you lose this menu, you can undo the entire extrusion and do it again, or you could start over. Yeah, but when you're first starting, it might be easier just to start over. Okay. Divisions, I'm going to change this to 4, and now you'll see it looks just like the reference image. Excuse me. Next, let's grab these faces right here. I'll hit Control E to extrude again. Let's type in 0.5 here. That should be good. Yeah, that's good. Zoom out here. Yeah, 0.5 is good. And then this also should have 4 divisions to replicate the model. And then let's grab these faces. So I'm right click, shift face, or just right click down the face, grab these faces here, Control E to extrude. And let's bring these up this way, and local translate Z, let's do 1. And let's give it Subdivisions, let's give it, make this 2, like this. Okay, next let's grab this face and this face and extrude those. And let's use this arrow and pull it out and see what direction we need to go. Okay, so let's translate Z. Let's change this to 1 as well. Divisions to 2. Now we get that 4 panes, right, that are similar to the reference, that are the same as the reference. And lastly, let's take these 4 faces here. Control E to extrude. Thickness, let's pull this out like so. Let's just go 0.4 and make it a nice number, and then offset. I'm looking at the reference. Let's see. Let's go 0.15 for the offset. And then I'm looking at the reference just to see if anything is off from the different angles. I can easily check this, turn the wireframe on by coming in each of these views and clicking on this icon here and comparing it to the supplied image from the SNHU course. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I will say that this face here is probably too large, but not a big deal. If we wanted to change that for the extrusion, we could just not offset it as much. But yeah, so if you turn this in, that would be a good submission, right? Shows me that you know how to use the tools, or that you've at least practiced with them, okay? Before you turn it in, I recommend turning on this so that when it loads up, I can quickly see the wireframe. And then to turn it in, right, we're gonna go to File, Save Scene As, and then just name it the assignment name. And that's what you'll submit, is that saved scene, okay? All right, hopefully this was helpful, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.